don't know what is going on. This happened last week, about 45 minutes into the video. So I don't know what's going on. My videos through Zoom are going fine, so I don't know why this is happening. All I can do is continue to go through the rest of this class. I hope you all join up, and I'm just going to continue. I was coming to seated here, breathing in the nose. Apologies, I don't know what happened. This same thing kind of happened last week. I don't know if it's a Facebook thing because this doesn't happen to me on Zoom. So anyway, I'm going to just get right back into it. Let's cross one ankle over the other, holding on to the knee and flexing through the foot. So I've got my right leg crossed, my left hand on my ankle, my right hand on the balls of the feet. 4 to 5 deep breaths. It's called the Wayne Cook posture. It's for unscrambling energies as well as finding our words when we're at a loss, when you can't find that word off the tip of your tongue. Shake that off. And the other side. Left leg crossed, right hand to ankle, left hand to the balls of the feet. 4 to 5 deep breaths. Thank you for hanging in with me. And done. So then let's cross our arms. Now you may just do one cross or do the eagle arms cross and get that upper back stretch, lift up and down. Doing what we can just for today. Total of 3 times. And then release and rewrap. The opposite arm comes beneath. Lift and down. Lift and lower. Last time, lift and down. And then we'll just cross the leg over. We're just going to come into a little bit of a twist. So with one hand on the knee, that you can be seated on your mat as well. And this is what the twist would look like. Just placing the hand on the side of the knee or wrapping with the arm and going into the twist. Thank you for rejoining. Again, we don't know what happened. Back center, let's open the twist so we can have our hands here. Again, this can be done in the chair. I hope the light is good for you all to see. And come back to center, flexing through the foot, sitting up tall, and hinge. Hinge happens, remember, at the hips, so we don't want to just let our head and neck come forward. We want to keep the integrity of the spine. Head, neck are in line, so it comes this way. Doesn't matter how far we come forward. It's about getting that lengthening, stretch, some flexion in our spine, and keeping the abdominals engaged. So draw that belly button in and up. And then come out of it. And we're going to switch sides. So bring that leg over. Hug in, maybe come back a little to create space. And come into the twist. Breathe. If you're you're a little bit more flexible, want to go deeper, maybe the elbow comes to the outside of the knee, or maybe not. Unwind and twist to the other side. Come back to center. Flex through that foot, holding the knee. Inhale, hinge, forward. Breathe. Notice where you're feeling that deep stretch. This is great hamstring lengthening stretch, as well as flexion for the spine. And then come back to seated. Point and flex through the feet. I hope that screen isn't too dark. I can't see myself real well. Now let's sit and do a forward fold with our legs extended. I'm going to check this light here. Maybe that's right. Okay. Don't want to mess too much with things, since it is April Fool's after all. So sitting up tall, let's just begin to weave, cleansing our own space, binding all of our personal energies together for strengthening our own field, and hinge. Make some attachment between your ankles and your knees. Inhale, gaze forward, and then exhale, sink in a little more deeply. Draw the belly button in and up. Now either weaving your arms up or placing the whole hand over the inside big toenail, and then the inside arch side of the feet will trace the spleen meridian. So that wide hand, you're sure to hit the point. Come just behind the ankle bone. Follow the inseams of your pants or the inseams of your legs. As you come up, and at the torso, you come a little bit wider. Follow along the sides of the waist, the sides of the breast, almost all the way to the shoulders. Back down and buzz just below the breast, so right at the rib cage on either side. Those spleen points. Flick that off. Now let's bring the soles of the feet to cobbler's pose. So this can be a loose posture. You can also be on like a folded blanket. This gives you a little bit of a nice advantage, or an anterior tilt. So you're coming a little forward, which is good. Maybe take a little pressure off the inner thighs, the hips, if we have tighter hips. Now, we don't practice this one if we are pregnant. Otherwise, we just place our thumbs right behind the ankle bones in that little divot there and begin to massage. That is the master source point for our kidney meridian, and it sends energy directly to that organ. So we can just sit with that and massage for a few breaths. We can also rest our fingertips just beneath the second and third toes at the balls of the feet. And that's the first point of the kidney meridian, known as the wellspring of life. These points can be massaged to help clear out any stuck energy within these meridians. Meridians are they carry energy versus veins carrying blood. So it's similar, just making that little analogy for you, in case you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Now we can shake that off and maybe just lightly flutter the knees if that feels right for you. And then bring them up. We'll move over onto all fours. So tabletop position. Now again, if you want to use a chair, that's certainly an option here. Placing either forearms down or full arm. So we're from our all fours position. Let's slide one leg back, flexing the foot and just lifting it no higher than hip high, feeling that glute engage, and then extending that opposite arm out. 3 breaths. And release. Maybe cat-cow to reset. And then we have side 2. Slide the opposite leg out, flex foot, lift, opposite arm, 3 breaths. And back. Let's move through some cat-cow stretches and side to side crescent stretches. Breathing deeply all the while, full breath in and full exhales. Once again, we're going to go into spinal balance, this time with a little bit of a flow. If it's too much on the wrists, we can be on the forearms. You can try that out. Extending, reaching, or full arm. Just make sure the joints are stacked. Wrists are beneath the shoulders. Knees are beneath the hips. Moving at your own pace always. Last time. And then reset in your cat-cow. So if you have a block or a book or something handy where it's going to give you a little bit more height, I like to use blocks. They're light and they're versatile in their size. And let me know if anybody has any knee issues moving forward. I'm going to step one leg forward into a low lunge, walk the hands out, and then shift forward into that stretch. This is a hip flexor stretch. Right in through here, the inner thigh. Breathe. Now, if this is comfortable and you feel stable in this position, you can come up a little bit, maybe raise the arms, or maybe just raise one hand. Breathing. And then come back, bring the toes in toward your shins, and hinge forward, again leading with the crown. And once more forward, Maybe this time placing the blocks down on the inside of that leg. Maybe placing that outside forearm down if you're feeling a little bit more flexible. Whichever position works for you. Explore, experiment, and find what works for you. Breathing all the while. And then once again, coming back, maybe bringing the blocks with you. Lift and hinge. Keeping that integrity of the core, drawing in and up through the belly button. And then slowly bringing that leg back. And we'll switch them out. Bring the other forward. Shift the hips forward. This knee tracks over the ankle and not past the toes. Make sure I'm still in the screen. Once again, gazing forward, maybe tucking the rear toes, a little bit more stability back there. Draw the belly button in and up. If it feels right, maybe place the hands above the knee. Maybe raise one or both arms, or just one or the other. Slowly hinge. Begin to lengthen through this lead leg. And bring the toes up so you're kind of digging in through that heel. Lift the torso up. And once again, we hinge. Remember, hinge happens where the hips and the torso meet. Breathe here. Calf, hamstring. Slowly come up and walk the hands or blocks forward. Maybe this time coming to the inside of that front foot. And options are to stay here. Maybe bring that forearm down or both forearms if that feels right. You may be able to come all the way down. Whatever works for you today is what you should be doing. I don't want to go into a position so people feel that they should go there because I'm going there. So I'm just asking you to know and listen to your body and do what feels right for you today. Breath is flowing. Slowly come back and hinge. And then we'll come back to all fours. If you have any knee issues, these little kneeling pads that you can buy at any of your big box stores for gardening, whatever. I use them for yoga because they come in real handy. My knees are kind of bony and I don't like that, just that contact, but I do have enough softness here. So anything you can do to add extra padding is a good thing. And so from here, let's extend one leg back and really stretch through. So we're curling or tucking the toes and then pressing back with that heel. We've got weight into our arms pressing down deeply through the knuckles. So the arms are working, certainly the core and that extended leg. And we're breathing. And then kick out that lower bent leg and come into a kneeling side plank. If the arm is too much to raise the arm, just go ahead and place your hand behind the neck or along your side. Lots of different options. Never any need to be uncomfortable when you're doing healing yoga. For a kneeling balance today, let's very slowly make our way up into a gate pose. Reach and extend over. Deep breathing. One more time to kneeling side plank. If it feels right, you can lift that long leg up into kneeling half moon. Or just lift and lower. Different options here. And once again, we'll come up into that gate pose. This is a lot of pressure and a lot of work from our knees, so any constructive feedback I certainly welcome. And then we'll come back down to all fours. Let's reset in a couple of rounds of our cat and cow. First of all, let's extend that leg out, really stretch, and we're just hanging out, shoulders over our wrists. We have active energy in this leg here. Feel that glute firing, breath is flowing. And then slowly kick out this lower leg, making that little, balance for us, kickstand. And this other leg extends. So we can lift this arm, maybe lift that leg or keep it anchored. Lots of different things we can do with this arm. Maybe place it here. Rest it along our side. Anything you'd like to do. I'm just showing you different options. You can let that arm fall back to really open through this pectoral, chest, and arm attachment. Breathe. And then slowly come back up, a little bit of a balance. And come into gate pose. And then back down, revisiting our kneeling side plank or kneeling half moon. Breathe. Now when we have stacked joints, if you have any wrist issues, you can substitute fists for wrists, and I find myself doing that a lot, working on my wrists a lot over time. So that's an option. Only make sure you're stacking the joints versus something like downward facing dog. It doesn't work in a posture like that. Let's come back up into the gate pose. Breathe. Really find that lateral line and length. And then release down. Once again, let's do some rounds of cat and cow before we come back into our child's pose for a few breaths. actually, we have the option of child's pose or puppy pose. And the difference there, puppy pose, placing the forearms down, bum is up in the air, heart center softens, forehead to mat. Child's pose is a bit deeper with the knees and bent fully, so we're in full flexion here as we come down. So your choice. Slowly slide up. And we're going to do what's called being with head heel. So this is also a resting posture. And it's very calming. So you can sit back on your heels or come up to the kneeling position. Being with head heel, just imagine that little sprout shooting through, up through the grass, up through the crack in the sidewalk in spring. It's made it through, but it starts out just as a little seed or a little bean. We're going to rub the hands, rub the palms together briskly to warm that up. And then we're going to palm over our eyes so we really can't see. We're going to place our elbows down. Our head is supported by our hands and our elbows are down. And we're breathing. Covering the eyes helps take tension out of the equation, as 80% of tension comes in through the eyes. So this goes a long way for reducing tension throughout our bodies. And it's very relaxing and calming. When you feel complete, and please know you're welcome to do this at any time. It is very calming. Just very slowly release the head, slide back and drop one hip to the side, bringing the legs forward. And good work for our arms. This is not certainly mandatory. You can be here, bend the elbows, and lengthen. This is a little bit of work for our triceps or those muscles at the back of our arms. If you want more, you can come into a reverse tabletop. This is a lot more challenging to bend the elbows and then come up. Many times we find we just lower the bum and lift the bum and keep the arms straight. Easy to do because this is not an easy position. But maybe eking out one. That's good. That's really good. So as we make our way to the floor, we're going to come one vertebra at a time. So think about a string of pearls just dropping down, one pearl at a time, maybe bringing your elbows and forearms down as you lie all the way back. And place the arms to like a W to continue to open up through the chest. Bend the knees and walk the feet about mat width. Breathe. Notice how you're feeling. Drop the knees to one side and your gaze to the opposite side. Come back to center. Knees go to the other side. Gaze over the opposite shoulder. Inhale, center. We'll go one more time to each side. Slowly breathe. Return to center. And last time. Come back to center. Let's bring our hands along, our arms along our sides. Shift our hips a few inches to the right. Extend the left leg and draw the right knee into your chest. If available, reach that opposite hand and fingers behind the knee crease to come into spinal twist. If the fingers can reach behind that little knee crease, we've got some gallbladder points back there. And this is the season that governs the liver and the gallbladder, the rebirth, the cleansing, the renewal. And these are called the achievers of the impossible. Good ones to hold. Breathe deeply. And slowly unwind. Bend both legs. Shift your hips a couple inches to the other side. Extend the right leg. Bring the left knee in. Again, this can be done on the chair. Just crossing over. Maybe place that couple fingers behind the knee crease, holding those gallbladder points. Breathe. And coming back to center. Let's bring both knees into our chest. Give ourselves a well-deserved hug. Gratitude for this day, for making it to our mats. Hug it in. And maybe just circle the feet, getting some mobility in the ankles. And then part the knees about shoulder width. Flex through the feet. Maybe hold on somewhere between the knees and the ankles. If you can reach the outer edges of the feet, you can hold there into happy baby. Maybe find that point, the bottom of the foot, below second and third toe, kidney point, wellspring. And then we've got a point right below that gully and the big toe and the second toe. Just right below that. That's a liver point. Give that a little massage. breathe here. Be heavy in through the shoulders. At any time you're ready, just release the feet down and extend your legs out, or keep the knees bent, or roll to your side, grab a blanket, get warm for your final relaxation. So you could also place a blanket or a block beneath your sacrum, which is the very bottom of your tailbone, and rest like that. You can extend the legs up, whatever feels right for you. If you've got a blank wall handy, you can place your feet up the wall. That's a very restorative rest. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to be quiet and allow you to integrate your yoga practice today. Bringing awareness back to our fingers and our toes. Fluttering our eyelids open as we roll to one side. No rush. Joining me in seated again as you're ready. And we will complete our practice today with a 10 heart meditation, which is simply the Just drawing 3 hearts around our face. And then 3 hearts around our torso. Just in the field of energy. And then out in the field around the entire body. 3 more hearts. And then we finish making this heart with our fingers and our thumb. Place it over our heart center to take us through the rest of our day and shine our heart light. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. I will have this recorded, but it'll be in 2 parts because of the little glitch we had. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and holiday week. Namaste. Thank you. We'll see you next time.